Riverside. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And welcome into Weather Extra. Meteorological fall arrived yesterday, but we're still holding on to the summer heat today.
I know. Back in the 90s, it was a good break for a minute there. Those low 80s, chef's kiss.
Listen, we're getting into that time of year, though, where you see 90s, and it's like, is this the last time we're going to see 90s?
Exactly.
And coming up later this week, we're going to be talking about some of that heat building, but then after that, we could see 80s maybe here to stay for a while. So that's one of the next big things we're talking about as we go to radar. First off, not a lot of rain at the moment, but it's been a day. If you checked in with us earlier here on WBRC, Megan and Mickey, we've been tracking showers and rain in areas to the north, and all that wet weather dissipated. Now what's left is just some rain over in West Alabama. East Alabama, not a lot happening at the moment. It's 81 at Talladega. We're seeing some upper 70s. The clouds have really helped out with those heat levels today, but I still think tonight there's an unsettled pattern in place where we could see a couple of isolated showers, maybe an isolated storm. Right now, only rain we can find, it's over here in Pickens County. So most of us in good shape at the moment, with the exception of some of those showers holding on across West Alabama. But there's Pickens, you see Greene and Sumter County, so places Livingston north, tracking some of that rain, just some leftover cloud cover. Birmingham back in towards Shelby County, but giving you a sunset alert as we go to sunset time with this thin layer of clouds that should set off some of those nice colors this evening. So if you capture some of those sunset views, some nice photos, be sure to share those with us right here on Weather Extra on the WBRC First Alert Weather app. But our weather headlines, we will see more. I mentioned an isolated shower or two tonight. Need to watch it again tomorrow, maybe a shower or storm. Feeling less muggy this weekend. We still have some cooler air. It's going to break out across the eastern part of the country. The one change is the core of that coldest air is going to stay north of us, but we'll get a little taste of it Sunday. You'll really notice it at night and not quite as muggy, but until we get there, we still have the summer heat that we're going to deal with. And as Tania was talking about, we could see a new tropical storm soon that we're tracking over in the Atlantic. But the rain chances do stick around. It looks like Thursday, maybe an isolated shower, not a washout. And then we need to watch Saturday. It's going to be one of those days Saturday, places like Tuscaloosa, we could top out close to 90 degrees. So heading over for the Alabama game, tailgating, just know it's going to be hot. Same for the Auburn area, all around the state. A hot day on Saturday, but Sunday, as we get closer to September 7th, September 8th, that's when we're really going to start to notice those humidity levels starting to improve. But that's what we're tracking in the long range. We'll be talking more about what's happening in the tropics right now as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle.
Well, thanks, Wes. Listen, we want to take you across America. Look at this. The summer's weather could be affecting the colors that we see, not necessarily in the trees. It's actually a fire. Evacuations for a fire that's happening in California. People in Central California are watching this wildfire grow. It's what's known as the 2-2 fire. It's burned more than 1,000 acres and has forced a highway to close. While people are not required to evacuate immediately, they're being told to remain on alert if conditions become more threatening. The fire is also impacting air quality in parts of Northern California. And this is what it looked like in Phoenix, Arizona yesterday. You can see the winds from thunderstorms in the area blowing around a lot of dust. There was a severe thunderstorm warning for Phoenix. The weather caused a ground stoppage at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport for more than an hour late yesterday afternoon. Dozens of flights were affected. Phoenix saw a peak wind gust of 52 miles per hour. Rainfall totals were around 1/4 inch, with some areas picking up a little more, others picking up a little less. Well, this is also what it looked like outside the city as the dust storm preceded the rain in Phoenix. You can see in this drone video the dust cloud slowly making its way across the valley. The National Weather Service issued a dust storm warning for the area yesterday afternoon. That's a warning we rarely see here in Central Alabama, but it's not unheard of in Arizona this time of the year. Well, we are going from one extreme to another. This is video out of Pakistan. More than 9,000 people have been evacuated due to massive flooding. This follows weeks of above average rainfall and the release of huge volumes of water from dams in neighboring India. Many homes are partly submerged. Rescuers were seen in boats evacuating some of them stranded and delivered food for those staying put. Authorities in Punjab say they had set up more than 1,000 relief camps. Over 36,000 evacuees are in those camps. Pakistan's weather Center said Punjab received over 25% more monsoon rainfall between July 1st and August 27th compared to this same period last year.
Explore the wonders of weather with Weather in the Classroom. Scan the QR code now to help your kids soar to new heights with Soar with 6.
All right, we'll check in right now on radar where we're seeing some of that rain across parts of West Alabama. We've had a few showers, Sumter, Pickens, and Greene County. That's about it. Most areas right now, just some clouds sticking around. And we go over to the current temperatures, and at the moment, not too bad. 78 in Birmingham, 77 in Anniston. We'll take it. Looks like by the end of the week, I think Thursday, Friday, we'll see some 90s coming back. And then after that, it looks like 80s as we get to next week and beyond right now. Looks like those temperatures will trend a bit below average. I'll just show you some of the long-range data. We're still seeing from the Climate Prediction Center, they're showing near normal or below normal when you go to the September 8th through September 12th time frame. So when we look way out there in the long range, still some indications that we will see sort of a pattern flip as far as those temperatures go. But right now, even though we've been seeing indications that it might cool off later this week, it still looks like that summer heat is going to hang on at least through Saturday. We'll talk more about the extended forecast coming up, and we'll also check in on the tropics. And still to come, how weather is going to impact the colors we see in the trees this year, the fall foliage. We'll talk more about that. Plus, lifeguards are staying busy with rip current rescues. And what about next week? We're looking beyond the 7-day forecast after the break. All right, now that we're into the burr months, as we call it, you may start thinking about those trees changing colors. And while we don't experience peak colors here until, well, mid to late October in some parts of the country, the leaves are already starting to change. As Jen Sullivan tells us, that change could be a little earlier than usual this year thanks to the heat and rain from this summer.
The end of summer means the vibrant green leaves will soon transition to the warm hues of orange, yellow, and red, turning mountain ranges into mosaics of fall colors.
It's a really great opportunity to just get yourself outdoors, look at something beautiful.
Brett Keller is the CEO of Priceline. The travel site recently came out with a list of the best places for leaf peeping this year, and clocking in at #1 was the Hudson Valley region in New York.
We typically look at accommodation trends, and we also are able to understand how far away those consumers are from those accommodations.
These radiant colors generate a lot of green for local economies. In Vermont alone, the state estimates the fall foliage brings in around $1 billion in visitor spending.
It is a major driver of our tourism industry.
William Keaton is a professor at the University of Vermont. He says there are a variety of factors as to why some areas experience more vibrant colors than other regions. One being the vast contrast between temperatures during the day and at night, the variety of tree species, and the landscape.
Fall foliage is a delicate dance between a number of things, and climate is one of the most important.
This summer brought intense heat and excessive rainfall to parts of the country. Keaton says those extreme weather patterns impact how vibrant the colors will be and when the leaves will begin to change.
These kinds of extremes create stresses in trees. They begin to brown up and drop their leaves sooner than they otherwise would.
Keaton says climate change could also cause the fall foliage season to shorten over time. If you do want to carve out time to see the fall colors, they typically peak in the beginning of October in the Northeast. I'm Jen Sullivan.
And how about this photo from one of our viewers in Helena, and just a early sign of what's to come, but you can see some of those colors starting to show off there. But hey, we're looking for whatever signs of fall we can find, right, with these summer heat temperatures really trying to hang on out there. But viewer says this is the first appearance of colors in his maple tree about 2 weeks sooner than average, and tells me usually his maples don't start turning red until the middle of September. So hey, maybe that's an early sign. Maybe those fall colors are really going to show off this year. Maybe want to set an afternoon aside to go check out some of the scenes across Alabama the Beautiful this fall season. But AccuTrack right now at the moment, we are mostly dry. We do have some clouds out there. Notice Tuscaloosa at 74 degrees right now. Not too bad. Birmingham, we're at 80. Alabaster and Shelby County 81. 72 at Coleman. And we're seeing some nice 70s over in East Alabama. So overall, not a bad evening out there. If you want to get a walk in, feeling pretty good in the neighborhood at the moment. But there's a little bit of rain far west Alabama. Model data is telling us that we might still see a pop-up shower tonight, so we just can't rule that out. Keeping those rain chances through 9, 10 o'clock around 30, 20%, but most of us should stay just partly mostly cloudy and mild for the overnight with those lows down into the 60s. But tomorrow there could be some rain out the door in the morning, and you'll notice this is some of the high-res data. This is from our Barron model showing close to midnight tonight. You see that? Still just can't rule out a shower. We actually started off quite a bit of rain earlier today over the northern part of the area. So we have been seeing these little small-scale disturbances kicking off, these scattered pockets of rain and scattered thunderstorms. So I just can't rule that out tonight. But as you can see, a lot of clouds around. So even though we're talking about some hot weather hanging on with this cloud cover, that's really helping us with those daytime heat levels, and that should help provide a little bit of relief out there. I think through midday, early afternoon, we'll see low to mid 80s, may see some upper 80s by the afternoon. There's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Not a lot of rain, but maybe 1 or 2 pop-up showers and storms. That chance of rain's there, keeping about a 40% chance for scattered showers and storms in the forecast. Now, as we look ahead, one thing you probably notice is that the temperatures, you check the First Alert weather app, they've trended even hotter for the end of the week. The models were showing this big push of cool, dry air. We still see that over the eastern third of the country. The thing is the core of that coldest air looks like it doesn't quite make it to our region, but we will get a less muggy feel out of this. You can see some of that drier air starts to push in. This is the front, and you can see it stalls out as we move into this weekend. That's why we might get an isolated isolated shower or two on Saturday. Sunday looks dry, but once that front arrives, especially the northern half of the area, I think you'll really notice some improvements during the morning. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston points north. Still feeling kind of humid areas to the south, but notice the daytime temperatures do back off slightly as we get to Monday, Tuesday, and next week. 40% chance of rain. Looks like those high temperatures around 86 on Monday, 84 on Tuesday. Overnight lows down into the 60s. And the long-range temperature pattern, some of the long-range outlooks beyond September the 8th, the Climate Prediction Center showing below average, near normal or below average temperatures across the eastern half of the country in that long-range forecast. So this could be it as far as the 90s as we look at the 10-day forecast. But as we move into next week, it looks like 80-degree temperatures again, especially beyond Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Tania standing by. Tania, we're also going to be talking more about that system in the tropics, which also looks, the 10th is the peak of hurricane season, but that system looks to stay out over the Atlantic.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a bit, Wes, but let's talk about the Gulf Coast. If you ever are at the beach, you definitely want to pay close attention to the threat of rip currents. But now let's take it to the Pacific. In Southern California, it's been a long few days. There, lifeguards have been busy rescuing hundreds while warning thousands of people about the potential danger. Michelle Guile has the story.
It's been one of the 3 busiest weekends of the summer for Newport Beach lifeguards.
Tar 5.
Rescues in the ocean as of late Monday afternoon have almost hit 250. In part because of strong rip currents and elevated surf, especially on south-facing beaches.
We have some surf that's been building through the week, and what happens with that high surf, that increases the strength and the size of our rip currents out there, and that's reflected in the number of rescues you see, all that water coming to shore.
Hot Southern California weather is drawing big crowds to the coast.
Requesting medics, Tower 6 for a 49-year-old male, precautionary C-spine.
All of the activity is keeping lifeguards on their toes, from the dispatch center to the towers down on the sand. In Newport, more than 2,500 people have been warned over the long holiday weekend that they're putting themselves in danger and to be careful. Surf was up in Surf City. People camped out under umbrellas on both sides of the Huntington Beach Pier to be near the water and feel the ocean breeze.
The surf's good. It's a little choppy. There's a lot of tourists out there, but the water's beautiful, low 70s. I was in the Rockies yesterday and glad to be back in Southern California in Huntington Beach.
Imagine, yeah.
Orange County attracts visitors from all over. This couple spending Labor Day in Huntington Beach says South Dakota is nothing like this.
Well, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people be fun, and I think enjoy the days. It's beautiful.
Well, the big question is, will we see impacts here at home from our tropical systems? I want to show you what the tropics is looking like right now and what is to come. So take a look behind me. We're going to pull up here our National Hurricane Center outlook. This is what we're looking at right now. Over the next 7 days, we're watching this wave off of Africa's coast. It could develop into our next named storm. That next name is Gabrielle, but as of right now, it has a really high chance of development. But where could this go if it does develop into our next tropical system? Well, I want to walk you through that. So yes, it has a high chance of development. Right now, it's a really broad area of low pressure with some showers and thunderstorms impacting the Atlantic Ocean. That's really about it. It's not over land, but could it impact land? Well, let's follow this. This is one of our models here. This is the GFS model, and it shows some development of the system as it moves through the Atlantic and tracks further to the west. As we approach next week, by Tuesday, you can see it becoming a little bit more organized here. And this is the East Coast. Will it reach there? That's the big question. Well, some of our models are indicating that it could make a turn, which is some good news. It might cause some rip current and impacts along the East Coast. But as far as direct landfall, I'm not seeing that as a possibility. As we approach into not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend, it's supposed to make a turn north and through the Atlantic and remain a fish storm. So that's the tropics for now. Here's another look on where this could go, looking at our spaghetti plots. And the biggest impact of this is really nothing as far as landfall, but it will impact the Atlantic Ocean, eventually make a turn through the central Atlantic and north, and again remain a fish storm. So here's a look at Tania's tropic check. Number 1, tropical depression by this weekend could be our next named storm, Gabrielle. And lastly, it'll likely stay east of the East Coast. So that's good news for us here across the United States. No impacts right now for the tropics along the Gulf Coast. So if you have plans, you should be good to go on that. That's our tropical weather update, but I want to take you now beyond the 7-day. What does it look like here across central Alabama and really all across the nation? Much of the East Coast dealing with below average temperatures and the Pacific Northwest with more above average temperatures as we bring in September 8th through the 12th of this month. But we're kind of split here across Alabama. Looks like the coast dealing with above average temperatures, more near average and maybe slightly below average temperatures here across central Alabama. Our average this time of the year is in the upper 80s, and we're kind of trickling on that fence, a little bit above, a little bit below. As far as rainfall, September 8th through the 12th, we're tracking more above average rainfall as we bring in closer to the middle of this month. So hold on to the umbrella and the rain jacket. That's that beyond the 7-day forecast. We'll continue to give you updates on that forecast right here on First Alert Weather Extra, but we're going to take a look at what's next after the break.
You're watching WBRC 6 News, Alabama Broadcasters Association's Station of the Year.
I put the hummingbird feeder in.
All right, Tania, looks like a lot of clouds out there. Not a lot of wet weather at the moment.
No, not bad at all. Some beautiful pictures have been sent in to our WBRC First Alert Weather app. We thank you guys so much.
Yeah, these are some that were shared on my Facebook page. This was in Moody. Jason Rooks sharing this photo, and Justin Como sharing this lovely view. This was in Sneed.
Wow, the grass is so green.
I know, it just gorgeous, and even some breaks in the clouds there. Look at this thing. This was actually, let me make sure I get this right. Red Velvet Ant. This was from Cindy Stepanov at Cahaba River Park in Helena. I just bet that thing's got a nasty sting.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. Maybe not that close.
Well, watch out. And look at these giant lily pads. Looks like you could just walk across the water right there.
That is so pretty.
That was at the Botanical Gardens up in Huntsville, and Norma Bryan sharing that.
Oh, that's cool.
And someone, this was actually at Walt Disney World from Heather Weaver, sharing this view as a storm rolled in. But I guess that's an interesting way to, from the, what's that? Oh, the Skyliner. Okay, so that's from the Skyliner. So I guess that's an interesting way to...
it takes you across the park.
Yeah, other than the monorail, right? But what a way to view storms, right?
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad there was no lightning.
Yes, that would be, I just can't imagine riding that thing out in a storm there. But hey, listen, if you have the First Alert Weather app, you can share videos, share photos with us. And this was some more video, Tania, from our very own weather watcher in Trussville, Tyler Young, and the hummingbirds. They have been putting on a show here lately. If you have hummingbird feeders around the house, we've been seeing a lot of hummingbirds. You know, we're getting close to that time of the year where they begin their big migration. So maybe they're getting all stocked up.
Wow, his backyard looks so nice.
I know, he's got the
perfect house for a hummingbird. Or a pit stop, I should say.
He sent me a photo too, or video, and it was a critter cam at ground level of a rabbit. I said, Tyler, he's got cameras all over the place.
All over. He's following all the critters.
Yeah,
the animals, the bugs, and the weather for us.
And the weather for us. He keeps us posted out in Trussville, but not a lot of rain in the forecast, but we could see a couple of those isolated pop-ups through tomorrow.
Yeah, check in with us first at 9. Have a good evening.